Old money families never eat lobster, never. And only we know why.
Happy Thursday, everyone. Back in the building, DPO. And again, if you don't
DPO.
know, DPO stands for Discussing Purpose Only. And we are here to have a couple of discussions on some topics. Nathaniel, it's Thursday night. When you're thinking about a date, growing up back in the day when we used to eat all kind of stuff, we had some foods that was kind of looked at as being a delicacy, and we used to eat it all back in the day and just shove it down our throat. We didn't really give a damn what it was. But today it seems like we're learning about more health about the food that we've been eating. And I think some of the things we thought was good are turning out to be not so good. What's your thought?
No, not so good, man. I think people, you guys stick around for this video because I think that you're going to take something away. I think you're going to learn something, and it was actually a hard lesson that we had to learn, up in here in our upper age. And if you're younger than us, like take note on this and just say no. So stick around for the whole video because we're going to outline. You're going to probably be a little disgusted, right? But some of the things that that I can think of that I would eat that I just don't touch now, ramen noodles, like I don't touch those things
Oh my
anymore.
gosh,
Shrimp,
no more.
shrimp, I don't touch that
Right?
anymore. You just learn. Like, have you ever been to the restaurant and you get some shrimp, like the cold shrimp, right? They give you the little cocktail sauce, and you look at it, and you can just see like this little, you can see the vein just filled with just crap. You seen that?
Yeah,
Huh?
it's a
You
crap. Yeah,
seen
hey,
that?
it's some shit. It's some shit in there. So
That's
let me just go ahead and say
boo
it.
boo.
It's some it's some shit in there. And to
That's
be
boo
honest,
boo.
I can't even eat it. Like if I had to, when I see that, I automatically can't ingest it in my body because I know what it
No.
is. I know. And if you didn't clean it properly, which is kind of crazy when we think about the cleaning process, because there's really no way to clean it properly. It's
No.
not like you're cleaning it, washing it, rinsing it, and then cooking it. You're just cleaning it, peeling it, and moving on. It's not like and I never even thought about that. People, what do you guys think about that? Are they
Yeah,
really
tell us
cleaning the
what you
shrimp?
think.
Or do they or do
Nah.
they leave some stuff behind that we eat and we still don't realize we're still eating the remnants of shit when we eat shrimp? Say that a
They are
couple
not
times.
cleaning that. They are
And
not remnants
subscribe.
of shit. They are not eating. They are not cleaning that shit, man. Let me tell you, here, let me paint the picture. It's like when you have your newborn baby, right? Newborn baby, and he's cute, and they shit in their diaper. Sometimes it's like greenish, right? If you take some of that stuff out of that shrimp, man, it is the same consistency and color. It is disgusting. Oh man, I can't believe it. But
Hey, and
here's what's
and
even more
people,
crazy.
trust me, we didn't think about this before we really got on this topic today. So this is all discussing purposes only, honestly.
Only and as we're saying it, audience, you're thinking now, like, wait a second, that's shit. I thought that was just a vein, or I didn't pay attention to it at all. And I'm telling you, every single one that you pick up, man, it's disgusting. And this is why I don't eat it. And no, it's not safer because now it's dipped in batter, and you're dipping it in your cocktail sauce and it's got that coconut flavor on there. It's still there. It's just covered. So this is why I just don't eat it at all. And oh man, I'll tell you, it was good. I can really appreciate it back then, but now you consider the things that you put in your body, man. And this is what I want people to
Yes.
take away from this is like, what are you putting in your body? These are bottom feeders. Now, what that actually means is that not only are they eating some of the other shit that's on the bottom of the sea, the ocean, the lake, they're eating carcass, other dead fish remnants. So, would you eat a dead fish? I mean, like that has died
No,
from
no,
disease or, you know,
no, I
well,
wouldn't.
that's what they're
Like,
doing.
no, knowingly, I wouldn't eat it. Knowingly. Now, not to say that when we go to these restaurants or places like Red Lobster or these seafood crab places that we don't know
Mm,
where they're getting their product from. And that's the question you got to really be sure of. Like, even if it's coming off the water fresh, what was the product that was eaten to make that fish or that bottom feeder what it was? And that's what it's like this. I give you and this kind of sidetracks, but it really paints the picture. I don't kill mice or rats anymore, right?
Mm,
And the reason I don't poison animals anymore, like mice or rats, is only because when I poison that mice or rat, it's gonna go somewhere and die full of the poison. The birds come down and eat that, then the birds are poisoned. Then whatever eats the bird is it's a constant um, passing of that same poison to different animals until it's still absorbed in one of the animals, and then they can just digest it, and then it slowly kills them. So think about that from a bottom feeder perspective. If you're eating something the same way that could have possibly been poison, it's eating crap, it's eating all this tainted poison, because that's really what it's
mm.
eating and cleaning, and then we turn around and we eat it, and because our bodies can digest it at small amounts, it's not bad for us. But if we ate it every day, then what happened?
And this
What's your thought?
discussing purpose only, man. Yeah, I think that's horrible. But here's what I think is even worse, man. I think that and it's kind of back to this shrimp thing. You have corporate America that really, really tries hard to make money. Now, I'm in corporate, you're in corporate, and we do these companies do what they must to appease their shareholders, to appease, the consumer. And I think
Right.
about this, man. Give me your thoughts on this. Red Lobster, right?
Yep.
They almost fell under. I think they even claimed bankruptcy at some point. And then they came back with this whole new like menu, like, hey, we're bringing shrimp back and all of the biscuits you want and all these different things, right? And they brought in this black CEO, this black CEO. And it just dawned on me now, and I'm like, wow, here it is. I really do think that they're trying to attract the audience of the black community back into this restaurant, right? Eating all of this bottom feeder food. That includes your shrimp, your scallops, your lobsters. And what people don't realize, you think it's a delicacy, right? You go there after homecoming, you take your date there, everybody's all dressed up. Man, y'all are just eating shit, you know?
Man, it's true. And people out there, everybody, like for those of you who don't agree with us, I would love to hear your feedback on this topic because as we grow, we learn. You
Mm.
know, we didn't realize what we were eating. It was covered with Cajun and all kind of red sauce, so we was just eating it. Now, what is your thoughts on the bottom feeders, and should we be eating them? Truly, like think
Let's
about it. It's almost like chitlins. We don't eat those.
We don't need those. We don't need those. There's some audience members out there that do that, and they're going to leave comments about, well, if you clean them right, if you boil it right, if you get
Yeah,
if you rub it down with alcohol and peroxide and gasoline, and then it's good for you. You know what I mean? But look at everything
right.
you have to do to prepare
Ex-
it, man. You just can't yank this thing out the store and put it in the oven and cook it, eat it. You can't. You got to clean out all the boo boo first.
You're right. But and this leads us into a whole separate discussion of what should we be eating overall? Because at the end of the
Mm.
day, you know, this world has really consumed us with so much processed food, plastics, other things within our food that we don't. I'm hearing stuff like human meat pushed into the meat, all kind of
Oh, get
crazy
out of
stuff
here.
that's going on in this world, man. And it's really disturbing because now that we got to really watch what we eat, it's scary, man. It's to the point
Yeah.
where we want to go back to like 1960,
Hmm.
1950, and start doing things ourselves because you can't
Hmm.
trust what you're getting. Check it out. I look at it like this. Every major company, whether it's someone like Pfizer or whoever owns all the meat markets and those type of guys, they're drug dealers. Okay? and they're going to cut their product where they can cut it to fill it with fillers that we have no idea we're eating, where they can. So understand
Yeah.
they're stretching our meat just as much as they can to make the profit, because at the end of the day, they don't give a damn about us. What they care about
No.
is making that money
It's that
instead
corporate
of giving us
interest.
the real, it's the corporate interest. And so knowing that, you guys got to take better care of yourself so that we can actually understand what we're eating. But I think, Nathan, you have a video that we probably need to review because I think we've been going on for a minute. Let's show the people the video and
This is
we can kind
what
of go
people are
from
going to
there.
see. What people are going to see is they're going to say, "Oh, this is AI generated," and "Oh, this isn't real." No, if you guys are using AI to code and to help you with your emails and things like that, like there are some things that AI is using, giving it the right prompt to get good information. And what I have here is a video that really illustrates what we're saying about these bad, bad, sea creatures that everybody's been consuming here lately. And here, I'll go ahead and bring this up.
Old money families never eat lobster, never. And only we know why. After you watch this video, I promise you, you will never order one again. Here is the truth. Here is what they never tell you. Lobsters, you see, they can live to 140 years old. 140. Most of the ones on your plate, they are somewhere between 40 and 70 years old. They never stop growing. They never age the way we do. And yes, they feel every second of being boiled alive, because they have no nervous system designed to go unconscious. None. But that, my friend, that is not the real reason we avoid them. Lobsters are bottom feeders. Bottom feeders. They spend their entire lives eating the corpses of dead fish, decomposing marine life, and whatever waste sinks to the ocean floor. Their bodies absorb the mercury, the microplastics, the heavy metals, all of it, from everything they consume for decades. A single lobster on your plate, just one, may have been absorbing ocean pollution since the 1980s. My grandfather, God rest him, he refused to serve lobster at his table. Not because he could not afford it. No, no. Because he understood something most Americans, even today, still do not understand. Lobster, you see, lobster used to be prison food. Prison food. It was fed to slaves and inmates because it was considered garbage. Garbage of the sea. And then someone somewhere convinced you it was luxury. And the price, well, the price went up 1,000% overnight. So here you are, paying $200 a plate to eat the cleaning crew of the ocean. Comment Dynasty, and I will send you.
And said, the cleaning crew of the sea.
Man,
Can you
that's got to make you
believe
think
that?
right there. Like, man, like when I hear the video, it really, it hit home because the mercury, microplastics, all the stuff I'm actually weeding out my house, period, from switching from plastics to all glass, getting rid of all the plastics. I don't even like food coming in plastic anymore. And
Mm.
just to think that, you know, these delicacies are filled with that and they're charging us an arm and a leg. Like you can go downtown Atlanta or somewhere around here, I'm sure in Dallas, and get a lobster tail, a fried lobster tail that'll taste so damn good you be wanting to slap your mama. Full with butter and all the stuff you're supposed to not have.
uh,
But you know
right.
what? It's like he said, they'll charge you $200 for the cleaning crew. That is crazy. I still don't know what I'm
People.
supposed to eat, but I guess we'll figure that out. Tell us,
Yeah, and
people, subscribers, what are we supposed to eat?
put it down there. Give us ideas on what you're eating that you consider clean, but you've actually done the research, right? You've done the research. It has, little to no microplastics. It has little to no mercury in there because this stuff is just not good for you. And like you just mentioned, Raymond, you're like, that you go down there and they got delicacies. See, and that's what we've been programmed with, that this is a delicacy. Therefore, they can charge $170, $180 for, a lobster tail. And that's just not the case. One, these things are super abundant. They're not worth the cost of whatever it is they're trying to put on your plate. And only we give it the value of what they think they can charge. And that's the thing. If everybody stopped eating lobster, you think it would still be $170? Nah, man, that stuff would be down to like
No.
20 bucks, 15 bucks,
Yep.
$12 lobsters. All you
Right.
can eat.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
All you can eat. Come get this off my plate because it's the cleaning crew and they need something to do.
So we have to
That's
consider
all I'm
that.
saying.
We have to consider what we're eating, and as long as you leave a comment that really outlines the purpose of this video, and that's what we want to hear. It's not just us just doing this research and trying to, influence you all to eat a better life. We don't know it all, and that's what this audience, that's what this community, that's where we all come in play. We all have to teach one another. So again, comment below on what you're eating that you consider clean, and hopefully we could put together a whole plate of food. Right? We've got our greens, we've got our meat, we've got our carbs. Clean sources of energy. Because what they've been trying to consider as luxury was just not the case.
It's
What's your
not.
thoughts, man?
I totally agree. I totally agree, man. It's not the case anymore, and we just need to figure it out. It's coming to growing our own food like we used to do, and
Absolutely.
it's getting scarce right now. It's getting very scarce as we move into this new phase of life, to be
It
honest.
is.
Uh,
We know things are expensive, people. We know that. And we know that everybody's really cutting back. They're eating at home, they're packing their lunches, they're taking shorter routes, they're not using their cars as much because gasoline's expensive. I get it. But don't fall into the trap that you've been so good throughout the week of cost savings that then you want to go out and splurge and then you put your money into this crap. Don't do it. Continue to make your food at home, continue to save your money. Go. The thing is, man, like back in the day, picnics were real. I don't know about you, but I've been on a couple of picnics. You know what I mean? You
yeah,
pack up some food, you pack up a bottle of wine, you bring out some wine glasses. That was a thing back in the day, but now it's just, $60, $70 plates of food, man, $110 bottle of wine, and people, man, we do so good throughout the week that we then kill our budgets. But that's another conversation for another video.
topic.
I really enjoy talking about this because diet is plays so much in terms of a role in my life right now because as we're getting a little older, we want to give ourselves a better consumption of food, uh, you know,
Yes,
more strict dietary options. So I think that's good. But I'll tell you
definitely.
what, man. We've been talking about. We wrap up and we talk about investments. And recently there was an investment that I brought up a couple of times actually, and the company was, let me bring it up here. The company was called Bloom Energy. And Bloom Energy,
Bloom
again,
Energy.
yeah, ticker BE. They are a company that literally brings power off the grid. So they're using a lot of interesting things. Hydrogen cells. So they're bringing literally like water to sites, to data centers, and instead of
Okay.
communities being in an uproar, talking about their energy costs going up, they found a solution, and they're hiring companies like Bloom Energy. And if you are an investor, you know that there's a bottleneck specifically in the AI field. The bottleneck is energy. These companies don't have enough energy. If you code, if you're using, say, Codex, you know that you're afforded tokens. So many tokens per hour. That token, that's energy. That's where our carbon footprint comes from. And that's what Bloom Energy is there to solve. Now, when we initially got into Bloom Energy around 140 something dollars, 130 something dollars, right down in this area, it is now up to 283. Now that's a huge increase if you got in and started rocking with us at a very early time. You would have made some really, really good money. Now, I'm always on the side of don't necessarily take advice from somebody, especially off of YouTube, right? But it's more so here that you do your own research. And if I'm doing all the research here
Definitely.
and you go in and do your own research and you come up to the conclusion that, man, this might be a pretty good idea, because I do know that energy consumption is pretty high and people are complaining about this in their communities, then why not give it a shot, right? Why not look into
Oh, I'm
companies
with you,
like
brother.
this or similar and invest? Now, is now the right time? Well, guess what? We're at an all-time high now, right? So if you got in, you've dang near doubled your money, right? So if you put in 10,000, you got 20. If you put in $100, you got $200. But just think about that for a second. Think about the gains on that. The typical S&P brings back between 7 and 11%. This was 100%.
Yeah, this
100%
was
gain.
major. This was
Yeah.
major. And I want to I do want to bring some light to the subject of, even though it's at its all-time high, understand what the new wave is. And if you understand the new wave is these data centers and energy, like Nathaniel said earlier. And this is just the beginning. This is like the tip of the iceberg, because no matter what, everybody's competing for that same energy out of all the AI companies. So while we're going to tell you again, this is the only stuff that we're looking into, and I'm joining into the Bloom Energy phase as well. Um, but even now, had it been an all-time high, I'm going to say it might be, you may want to wait till the drop, but you could still get in and just wait to the long road if you're in it for the long haul. And I guarantee you'll still have some gains within the next 4 to 5 years. We're saying
Absolutely.
200, 300 now. It's going to be about $1,000 in about 5 years, easy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. If you've made it this far in the video and you've watched our other videos, then you know that this is the discussion that we talk about. We always, wrap up with giving some game, right? Giving something that can be tangible to yourself. What can you do with that money? You can go buy your lobster if you like. Good luck. You can, put money down on a home. You can, take yourself out, get a plane ticket, go experience what the world has to offer. Like, you can do these things and don't necessarily feel bad that you're using your earned income from your job, right? You can use profits, right? You can
Yes.
use your gains from the stocks that you invested in. That's what it's for. Or you can literally just save up for your retirement, right? That's important to a lot of people, including myself. So, we thank you for making it this far in the video. And again, we're going to continue to do research on a lot of just different topics like the lobster and the mercury and the black CEOs and the communities that they're catering to now, and how they're really trying to convince us that these are still luxury products, and it's just not the case. And then we're going to wrap up by
Right.
talking about, something financial, something that we can actually put back into your pocket. So we'll continue to do the research. The best thing is we're gonna have fun doing this, right? What's your final thoughts, man?
This is discussing purpose only, guys. Thursday nights. We thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, and we will